Hello. Thank you, thank you. All right, there we go. That's the money. That's that's legal tender, as I used to say.
Richter Hammer, he prints money.
Shh, don't tell anyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome to X-Marks the Spot with your host, me, Richter Hammer. As you can see, we are joined by our usual group here. We have Marcus Shadow.
Sup, y'all?
Chris, a.k.a. The Mole.
With it.
And James Phoenix.
Yo.
All right, seeing as how last week for Raw, there was inclement weather up in that section of the country where they were filming it, so there wasn't really any Raw. It was just some, was it 2 taped matches, pre-taped matches or something, and then just a lot of promos and interviews?
Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And weatherman JBL on the roof, which he was not happy about.
Yeah, so since we don't have one of the major shows, we are going to take what few awards and promos of the night and stuff we had for this week, and we will talk about those next week. So instead, we are going to dig a topic out of our vault and talk about ye old King of the Ring tournament, and what we liked about it, what we didn't, what we'd want to see happen in the future, if they should bring it back, if they should make any changes, when they should put it, all that kind of good stuff.
So if we're taking it out of our vault,
Yes.
does that mean, like Disney, we have to then resell it for a ridiculous price just to move it back into the vault to release it again a few months later?
No.
Ah.
Now, yes, now remember, when we do that, we also have to add one irrelevant bonus feature each time to justify the re-release.
You are our irrelevant bonus feature.
Ha!
I'm sorry, Jim, that was too harsh.
That was harsh. Aw, thank you.
I admit, if there was a shirt that said "I am an irrelevant bonus feature," I would probably wear that. That's pretty funny.
Nice.
Although, I think before we get started, one of the small things I saw from Raw, I just wanted to throw this out there because I thought it was humorous. But Dean Ambrose was there. They had saw the video on YouTube how he said he walked to the headquarters, and one of the comments that struck me as funny is the guy says, he goes, I think Dean Ambrose's road to WrestleMania should be just him walking to where WrestleMania is, and I was like, that needs to be a thing.
Nice. Which music will you play? The Incredible Hulk walking away music,
Yes.
or Rambo's "It's a Long Road, It's Hard as Hell"?
When he first starts out, the Hulk one, I think when he arrives, it has to be Chariots of Fire, though.
When I wake up, I think I'm gonna be in the man.
Yes. I want a montage now of him walking on the road to WrestleMania, and it just plays all those kinds of songs. That'd be so awesome. All right, so anyway, on to the topic at hand, King of the Ring. I know, at least personally, I actually liked King of the Ring. It wasn't... did they ever have a pay-per-view based on it? I want to say they did, but I can't remember.
They did.
Okay.
They had multiple, including the one where Undertaker threw Mankind off the cell.
But it was like a... Well, I meant when I said they had a pay-per-view, I meant like a yearly one.
Oh,
Or
yeah, it was.
Yeah, okay.
It was a yearly King of the Ring. It was cool. I liked the original King of the Ring ones when they started to do the tournament idea.
Yeah.
I also find it kind of interesting how, at least from one wrestler's perspective, and what some people have said, how the King of the Ring was, I don't know, created.
Mm-hmm.
It was created as a big middle finger to Hulk Hogan.
Oh, really?
Yup, because they mentioned the year before at the WrestleMania before, when they first decided to do King of the Ring, the WrestleMania before, it was Bret Hart's year, and it may have come up on one of these topics, but Hulk Hogan won in a matchup he wasn't scheduled to appear in.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, I think it's been mentioned. But basically, they decided after Hulk Hogan then left and went elsewhere, because he was leaving to go make films and shit before he signed to WCW, but he left. WWE decided this was going to be Bret Hart's year. And like, how can we prove that Bret Hart is different to Hulk Hogan? So they created the King of the Ring tournament and had Bret win it, with the sole purpose being he had to wrestle multiple different styles of matches to prove, unlike Hogan, not all of his matches were the same.
Nice.
And I was like, that's genius. That's a great way of getting him over. It was a great concept. Each match was different with how he did them. Like, there was a more technical one, there was a more brawling one and stuff, and it was just all round a great idea. And I think that was a great way of putting him over. Sorry, I was trying to make a joke. What was that, Marcus?
I said, and then they ruined it all by having Hogan show up.
Not for the first King of the Ring.
Yeah, the first King of the Ring was in '85. That was pretty much before Hogan, almost.
The first King of the Ring?
Yeah.
The one that they did, where I was on about, was whichever year it was after WrestleMania. I want to say after WrestleMania 9, and that's when they had Bret win it, and that was the reason they made it the pay-per-views and called it King of the Ring and launched this whole yearly event.
Oh yes, in '91. Yeah. Effectively, the King of the Ring has been held on and off since 1985. From '93 to '02, it was a pay-per-view event. So it looks like Bret actually won. Bret won the first two that were pay-per-view events. It looks like.
Oh, nice.
I thought Owen won the second.
Well, I don't know. The first one, let's see. Then Bret won because it doesn't show one in '92. Bret won in '91 and '93, and then Owen Hart won in '94.
Ah, fair enough. It might have been. It might have been the thing. It might have been the case of, like you mentioned, they did it again and decided to do it yearly then.
And then immediately showing the entire thing was a crock. The next year, the winner was Mabel.
It was. But it's also worth mentioning, through this King of the Ring tournament, you've had amazing stars launched. You've had Bret Hart launch. Owen Hart became the King of Hearts and proved to try and get out of his brother's shadow a bit why he could do stuff on his own. Austin was basically helped to be launched, because I know that's one of Richter's favourites. He was helped to be launched at King of the Ring by doing the Austin 316 to Jake the Snake Roberts with a king at one of the King of the Rings. Triple H won a King of the Ring. You've had loads of great winners win King of the Ring. Like, it was like what the Intercontinental Championship was. It was like a great way of showcasing and launching talents.
Like Money in the Bank.
Yes.
Yes. Until later on when it became all about ruining good characters like Booker T.
I would make the case it didn't ruin Booker T.
Well, it made him annoying, that's for sure.
Hey, I liked Booker T in WCW. I really did. People know I'm a WCW guy. But basically, when he came to WWE, and like you had people like The Rock and stuff say, well, who are you basically to Booker T, and act like he was completely irrelevant, and how WWE pushed the WCW talent, which in itself is their own fault. He didn't get large reactions with fans. When he was King Booker, all hail King Booker, and he did the pinky in the air, he got loud reactions. He got crowd behind him as a heel, and it did help make him a big main event WWE star at the time, if that makes sense. So I think it helped him out. Like, Sheamus also benefited from King of the Ring.
Mm-hmm. Sheamus also had the best King outfit.
You mean Loki?
Exactly.
But
Loki.
But like I mentioned before when I was talking about how I remember it got started, at least how they decided to bring it back and launch in a bigger way and stuff like that. I feel we should be probably making more jokes, because that's what our audience is usually used to. So let's talk about King Mabel.
Ah, yes, King Mabel.
Marcus is like, my work here is done.
Yes, and the sad thing to think about in that is that to get up to the victory, Mabel beat the Undertaker.
He did.
And apparently he beat The Undertaker and a bunch of jobbers, apparently. Because the first round he beat Adam Bomb. Then he beat The Undertaker.
wasn't a jobber.
I don't know who the hell he was.
He was good. He wasn't main event material, but he was far from jobber. In terms of today's standards, he would basically be like your Sheamus now, if that makes sense. Where he's not main event, but he's someone you can put against the main eventer or against the mid-carder, and it still seems legit.
Fair enough.
He was awesome. He had He had like these weird nuclear eyes and shit. Awesome.
So he was a ripoff of the villain from the last Superman movie?
No, I don't think God looked like that.
Team.
But yeah, Adam Bomb, then The Undertaker, then it just says BYE. Was that a dude?
I think he was.
Because it just says BYE, doesn't explain who that is. And then in the last round he beat Savio Vega, who I have at least heard of.
By means he didn't fight anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was spelled differently, but yeah.
Yeah, so you're right. Mabel didn't fight anybody because Shawn Michaels and Kama fought to a draw. So neither of them advanced.
For a second, I thought you said Shawn Michaels and Karma, and I was like, dude, he fought her?
No.
Like, that can't be right.
When I looked at it at first, I thought it said Kane, but then I'm like, no, it's not Kane, it's Kama.
See, if this had been
He fought a
WWE,
punctuation?
For those of you at home who don't know who the hell Kama is, you probably know him better as Papa Shango or The Godfather.
Oh, there you go, okay.
but if this had been WWE now, it wouldn't have been a fact of you guys got draws and neither of you advanced. It would have been like next match, triple threat.
Pretty much.
I'd be okay with that, though.
Yeah, that would have been okay.
Yeah. And like I said, in the last round,
Abel might not have actually won.
Yeah. In the last round, he beat Savio Vega.
To be fair, they've done the whole like, oh, there's no one there, so they get to advance before now. Also, which I think WWE would do nowadays because it's a great tool, if that makes sense, for something like, let's say, Miz got a bye to the next round, Dolph Ziggler didn't. Dolph Ziggler has to earn his way there into, say, the final. Miz is fresh, which means suddenly the odds are against the face, and they've done that before now.
Yeah. I don't think just how sad it is that Mabel wins a King of the Ring that included Jeff Jarrett, The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, King Kong Bundy, freaking Bob Holly, Yokozuna, Lex Luger, and Razor Ramon. And Mabel wins.
To be fair, they were trying to push Mabel at the time because Men on a Mission had become popular at one point, and then they were trying to launch him as a big heel and stuff. And
he was a big heel, all right.
I see what you did, but yeah.
I was just going to make a Street Fighter joke with Savio Vega.
Nice.
There you go.
But no, yeah, the King of the Ring tournaments, regardless of for stuff like Mabel, but it had launched some great people because it's the same thing as like the Intercontinental Championship. We've had some great Intercontinental champions. We've also had some joke ones before now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still a great tool to do it, and I personally feel WWE should bring it back or retool it.
Yep, I agree.
There's two ways I would retool this record. I don't know if you'd agree or not.
Mm-hmm.
One would be like I've mentioned in the past, remove Money in the Bank, because I liked Money in the Bank at first, but now it's just become a thing of it becomes cliche of when are they going to cash it? When are they going to cash it? If they're going to cash it, or wait, heel cheats, gets the title, loses next month. I'm kind of bored of that formula, if that makes sense. So I like when Kurt Angle won it and stuff like that, and they had people. They made it so the winner got a #1 contendership. If they did that, where the Money in the Bank pay-per-view falls, and they say the winner gets a title shot at SummerSlam, it becomes to SummerSlam what Royal Rumble is to WrestleMania.
Mm.
And also with that, you can have heels cheat to win the tournament and still go through to get the title shot, but you can also have faces have hard-earned victories to get fair one-on-one matches. It's like the best of both worlds. No singing, Jim.
Yeah, I could see that.
or the other way I would retool it, but I don't know if Jim or Jeff would agree with this one, is I'd rename it Queen of the Ring to help launch the Divas division.
I could see that.
Didn't they have a Queen of the Ring match? Or am I thinking of something else?
They may have, but if they did a Queen of the Ring tournament, like the King of the Ring tournament, imagine if you could see people like, say, I don't know, let's say they were going to put the title on Paige, someone we know can wrestle from NXT and stuff like that. You could see her go out there and actually put on some good matches in the tournament, have different matches, so you can see, okay, what type of wrestler can she be? Because, okay, she'll have to face people like maybe the Funkadactyls, boo, they're crap, but when she moves on to the next round and faces better divas, and like if the finals then like her v Natalia or something like that, you know what I mean? It could actually help establish the Divas division as actually being as important as the Intercontinental or at least the US title division.
Yep, I agree.
And James Hadley Science.
I'm here.
What did you think of those two ideas?
Either that, or I say bring back King of the Ring, but have both King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring, because historically the King of the Ring pay-per-view only housed the final match to determine who the King of the Ring was. So you could run tandem tournaments of King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring, and have those two matches at King of the Ring.
Actually, no. The early versions of the pay-per-view were nothing but the final 3 rounds of the King of the Ring tournament happening.
Yep, they were. And then later on they did make it so it was just the final one or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did you think of those two ideas, Jim?
Sounds like good ideas to me. I would agree with it. I think a Queen of the Ring tournament would be a great way to showcase all the different divas and to, help figure out what they could do. And then at the same time, I also agree the money that you could do instead of the Money in the Bank thing, that would work.
Yeah, it's like you could also do it with tag teams, although you'd need to call it something else. Although nowadays, with WWE being the way it is, I have a horrible feeling what the pay-per-view would be called or something. It'd be called something like the Royal Invitational or something stupid like that, and it'll all be royal-themed matches like Queen of the Ring, King of the Ring, a Battle Royale, and stuff, or Battle Royal. You know what I mean? It'd be stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Although, to be fair, WWE Fastlane, touch wood, isn't actually themed based on a match type.
Evidently not.
I say touch wood because I have no doubt they might introduce a Fastlane match.
They're bringing back the wrestling in the back of the hay truck.
Yeah. No, but I can Fastlane. I can see them easily booking somebody in some kind of a timed match or something.
Yeah, like the other one where all the matches leading up to it all beat the clock challenges.
Yeah, something like that.
Or bring back Parking Lot Brawl.
Yay.
Or the much more superior, in my opinion at least, WCW Junkyard match, where it's just a giant car pile up shit with loads of people. I loved that match.
Yeah, the only problem with that is it was dark as hell and you couldn't see anybody.
To be fair, I have that pay-per-view and you actually can.
Okay.
When you watch the pay-per-view back, you can. It's just WWE nowadays is like, we didn't invent that, therefore it's not good.
Because I remember you showed me the clip and I watched it and I'm like, okay, it doesn't look bad, but it's hard to see because it's so dark in here. The only thing I remember is Regal, like, slamming somebody on top of a car. That's the only thing I remember.
Yeah, I showed you a clip or two, but I know Richter knows what I'm talking about because I know he was a big ECW fan. Mm-hmm. How many times does WWE do that? Like ECW stuff, they'll dismiss or slightly bury because they didn't create it.
Yeah.
The same thing with WCW, where it's like, yeah, we didn't invent that. It doesn't matter.
Which is unfortunate because if they love themed pay-per-view so much, how is there not a fucking pay-per-view for the War Games match?
That's what I've been saying for ages. Like I said, bragging rights, and then when they did Battlegrounds, they should War Games. It makes sense. The only downside to War Games, in my opinion, isn't essentially a problem with the match or the pay-per-view, but it was really WCW's answer to Survivor Series, so it'd be like another Survivor Series.
True. Except it involves multiple cells.
It does. multiple cells and multiple rings. But I was saying it's a similar concept of multiple teams against each other. Therefore, I know WWE wouldn't want to do that,
Fair enough.
which is a shame because I really do like the War Games.
I rented that DVD, but I didn't have time to watch it. I need to watch that DVD. I don't even have to rent the DVD. It's on the network.
For just $9.99.
Yeah.
Right.
Or, in the case of me, for this month and the last 2 weeks, free.
Ah!
That's right, in your face, Rick.
Mm.
Richter doesn't like it, and for our audience who aren't aware, Richter in his ivory tower, he doesn't like them all having nice things.
I don't.
Every time I do, he flies over you and breaks it.
That's why we can't have nice things.
Yeah,
That's
that's how I lost a few of my games consoles. That's why some of my family members can no longer walk. He tends to do that.
I didn't want to brag, but
Yeah, I didn't want to brag.
Okay then.
He's like PG era Marcus Shadow gimmick.
oh man.
Okay then.
Nice.
But no, I was good.
So-
But no, like I said, the King of the Ring stuff. I did really enjoy the King of the Ring tournament stuff, and like I said, I have fond memories of the original ones. Like I said, like when Brett won it and stuff, and Owen and stuff. I really did enjoy them.
Yeah, I think at the very least they should, try to work it in back. It's a good way, like you said, to establish a number one contender. And I know that they sometimes do stuff like that. Like I know NXT is doing something similar, and they do have like tournaments. But I would like to see a King of the Ring come back. I don't necessarily think it needs to be a pay-per-view, but at least like a themed Raw or SmackDown or whatever. Like I could see that is like the major focus of it, because I think it needs this where they do multiple matches the same night at the very least, because that's more King of the Ring versus just a normal tournament.
Yeah, it's like hell. I'm surprised WWE just didn't bring it back a few months back. Like instead of like when they gave us Battleground, instead of Battleground, I'm surprised they didn't just make it King of the Ring. Only because half their roster was injured, this was a great way to flesh out the pay-per-view with the same people working multiple matches.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. Yeah, I don't know why they got rid of it. Seems weird.
I think they got rid of it only because I know it sounds bad, but they destroyed it themselves. Because while it did launch Sheamus and it did help Booker T and stuff, so many winners near the end who won, including those, kept doing the "I'm now a king."
Yeah.
And suddenly had to become a king gimmick, and it's like, no, it wasn't a matchup to win to get a gimmick. It was a matchup to win, to say I'm better than everyone else. I'm the king of the ring because I'm literally better than everyone else in the ring, not I'm a king.
Yeah, because that was really my biggest problem with it. Was like I understand, that as you said, that the King Booker thing helped him get over. I personally didn't like it. And Sheamus, while he had a cool outfit, like sometimes I was like, okay, I got it. You're King of the Ring. It says it on your little nameplate. Yeah, it's like you said, you don't become a king by doing it. And as much as I like Money in the Bank matches, I feel like that's what it's doing too. Is sometimes they're like, oh, it's Mr. Money in the Bank. No, Rob Van Dam was Mr. Money in the Bank. Everyone else just has a briefcase. Like it's not like you don't get a subtitle by doing it. It's not like you get an achievement for winning it, and then you can put that on your nameplate. Like you still keep your gimmick. You won it, and you can bring that up. That's fine. You can have something that signifies it, but it should be more personalized. Like not everyone is Mr. Money in the Bank or I'm King of the Ring. I have to come out with a crown. Like you could do something that's more to you. Like let's say this is just me making crap up, but like let's say like Roman Reigns won it or something, and he had he has like that vest or whatever, his tack vest. If he had like gold trim on it or something, something special where it's like okay. it's something that reminds me he won King of the Ring, but it's not like I have a crown. Like they could do something that's more to their character to remind us. Like carrying around the briefcase, like where Damien Sandow had his briefcase. Like that was a good thing to do because it was like, okay, it's still the briefcase. We still know he has it, but it's a special one that I identify with him versus just having the generic one.
And I agree. It's like you mentioned, like with Money in the Bank, like there was a very noticeable difference between Edge and RVD.
Mm-hmm.
Edge was all about I've got this opportunity, I'm just going to flaunt it in your face, ha 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 ha, without going to the extremes some of them do now with, like you said, Mr. Money in the Bank. RVD was Mr. Money in the Bank because he was flaunting it in a face way.
Yeah.
Of, I'm RVD, I'm Mr. Money in the Bank, I'm going to take your title, I'm going to do it fairly.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins winning it, I like Seth Rollins, he's a great heel. He shouldn't be using the face title, like a face way thing that RVD did, mixed with that thing Edge did. That doesn't work.
Yeah. Personally, I think he should have one of J&J security carry it. Like they're securing his spot,
Nice.
I think that would fit more in this gimmick, but I mean, granted, I don't see Raw, so I don't know if that would fit, but...
I want Big Show to win it. And like when he had Big Show's ladder and stuff, instead of Big Show's briefcase, instead he comes out to the ring in that big like money truck that they used for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and that's his briefcase.
Nice.
Admitted though, that would be so... That's kind of funny with Big Show. He's flaunting the fact he's won, and it's big.
That would be awesome.
What? What did you
drives him down the ramp to cash it in?
Yes.
That'd be so great.
Oh my God, he's unconscious. Wait, is that Diesel? No, wait, no. Out comes a semi-truck. He just drives down Austin style down the ramp.
Yes.
Gets out and cashing in.
That would be amazing. That'd be a spectacle. They should do that.
Yeah, but like you said, various people could do it themed in awesome ways. Like, if Miz won it, I don't see Miz being like with Money in the Bank. I don't see Miz being Mr. Money in the Bank and all that. Like how it, like Miz's gimmick now, I'd see his briefcase being more very Hollywoodish looking, if that makes sense. Like it'd be totally like that, and that's what, like you said, that's what King of the Ring should be. Like, if Miz wins it, his outfit should be completely different to if Dolph Ziggler wins it. They're two polar opposites.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think if Miz wins it, he should get like Eminem's old red carpet thing, like where the guy would roll down the carpet and then he would walk down.
I hope Fandango wins it just so he renames himself Funking.
It sounds weird.
It does. It sounds
like
weird.
a Pokemon.
It does. But saying Funking, people be like, wait, did they just get something past the censors? Because some people be saying, wait, is he saying the word fucking? Funking.
I'm gonna Funking you.
Yes. I'm gonna fucking murder you.
You know what? I would love to watch any promo or match he did if that was what happened.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
It's like if Adam Rose won King of the Ring, I could totally see him putting on the crown and doing the King thing. Yeah. However, I don't see him doing it in the King Booker way. I'd see him doing that, and I could just see all the rosebuds all being dressed like various pieces of a chessboard.
That would be cool. And they have to carry him down.
Yeah. That would just be amazing.
That would be awesome.
Uh-huh.
But they won't do that.
They won't. But did Marcus or Jim have any ideas? I just noticed those two were quiet as well.
You tried a good discussion, Ryan. We didn't want to interrupt.
I know. I thought, oh God, have we been talking too much?
No, not at all.
Yeah,
no, I agree with most of what you guys said. You know, they need to bring it back, and like you said, don't turn it into a gimmick, and I have to agree with both Jim and Hammy here. So sorry, Will, you're in the minority. You're outnumbered. I hated the King Booker gimmick. I thought it was fucking retarded.
See, I mentioned I preferred him in WCW. I said I liked the King Booker gimmick just because it put him in the main event on WWE and he needed it, not because it was inherently a great gimmick.
Yeah, but I thought they could have achieved the same thing without giving him the gimmick. Just making him the king of the ring would have been enough to propel him. But then they gave him that gimmick, and it's just like, oh, it's so bad.
Did.
And then they involved his wife. I'm just like, oh.
They did,
Stop.
which I'll say, to be fair, it was kind of fun. I will admit, because you knew when you were watching it that this is Booker T. He's more soccer and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And when he comes on, he's like, "All hail King Booker!" And the way he says it, and the way his queen was, and stuff. It was fun for a heel in a way that, you know what I mean? It's like obnoxious fun.
Yeah. I love that he dressed like a king, and she looked like a prom queen.
Yes, that was something else which is amazing.
Like, it was funny that she looked like a prom queen, but it almost seemed like okay, you're gonna dress as a king. He's like, all right, and then they go to her, you're gonna dress as a queen, and she's like, okay, and they just come out of the dressing room at the same time, and they both look and go, oh, and they're like, you're on. They're like, oh, let's go with it.
But yeah, like I said, I agree with you guys in terms of, different people are going to use that stuff. Just like with Money in the Bank, they will use that stuff in different ways. And it's like, to force them to all use it almost the same way, like you said with Money in the Bank, it made Money in the Bank kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like, when it first started out, it was awesome because, like you said, we had Mr. Money in the Bank with RVD. We had the Ultimate Opportunist with Edge. And then it's like, okay, what else can we do with Money in the Bank? I don't know. We're just going to call it Miss Money in the Bank. Really?
Yeah. I will say, the one thing with the Money in the Bank thing I wish they'd done before now, like I've mentioned, I wish, similar to the actual games, ironically enough, I wish you could use it on more than just the world title.
You can.
Yes.
Yeah, but no one ever does. That's the point, and that's the problem. I mean, instead of using it on the world title, let's say Miz now wins it. It would be great if Miz now goes, we're cashing in for the tag team title so I can help out Miz. Or let's say Rusev won it, and he could then cash in against Dolph Ziggler and unify the titles. Or if Brock Lesnar hadn't ended the streak, someone could have cashed it in to try and get the title of ending the streak. You know what I mean? So it's more than just, oh, we're going to cash in on the world champion. When are they going to do it? It becomes, what the hell are they going to do with that briefcase?
Can Triple H put himself in the match, win, and then cash it in for the title of People's Champion?
He could. The only problem is the champion needs to be there to defend it.
This is true, but then again,
he's gonna wrestle him via satellite.
I don't know. He's gonna make a big announcement on Raw that's going to shake the WWE to its core, and he's gotta have some issues with The Rock and the controversy. So anything's possible.
Yeah, if they brought back King of the Ring, I could totally see Triple H winning it again, just so he could call himself the King of Kings of the Ring.
Yeah.
Well, I figured he would win. He would use Money in the Bank to cash in on King of the Ring.
Nice.
There you go.
How amazing would that be if someone cashed in on, like, say, Triple H as well? Like, I don't know, let's say someone along the lines of John Cena, since he's going to be retiring soon.
That'd be believable, yeah.
Cena chooses to cash in on Triple H, but the reason he's cashing in on Triple H is not because he wants the King of King titles. He wants the title of COO.
That'd be awesome.
And Triple H's like, wait, what? No. And then he wins, so now he's running the show. That'd be fucking amazing.
That'd be hilarious.
Not amazing to see him in that role, but just amazing of, that's genius. I never would have thought to, well, obviously I did because I mentioned it, but it'd be like, when I'm watching, I'd be like, whoa, I never would have thought he would do that. That's great.
But then you could book that interestingly because he only cashed in on Triple H as COO. That doesn't remove Stephanie from her position. So theoretically, the two of them would then have to be on working together to run the show. So they could kind of pull a constant. Oh, there's two authority figures who disagree gimmick that they've done in the past.
Yeah, and that Cena likes to break the fourth wall and make inside jokes, and like Triple H does. He can sort of say, "And Hunter, don't worry, I'm taking your position with your wife, and I will show her my 5 moves of doom." And wink as the camera cuts away to Triple H in the ring, like, doing his overselling anger stuff he does.
Yeah, he flips the announce table over, starts throwing chairs around.
Yeah. Cuts backstage, and then suddenly Stephanie has Cena in a submission hold, and he's actually tapping. I'm like, wait, we've never seen him give up. He said he'd never give up. Oh my God. No, by becoming the absolute man, he's given up. No. What has he done? The source of all his powers. Jack Swagger cashes in on Rusev and takes his nationality.
Could you beat Cena and become the face of the company then?
Yes, thank you.
There you go.
You're new face of the company.
Like, I'd love to see Miz do that, and I say Miz just because I think his gimmick works for this. But I could totally see Miz doing that, cashing on Cena, become face of the company. But then the side of the Titantron, bringing back like the McMahon-Helmsley era, but just 2 images of Miz either side of the Titantron.
Yeah, Miz would do that.
Yeah, and he literally rebrands it like that. Like instead of the WWE logo on the side of the ring, it's now upside down for the Miz logo and stuff, and just keep that going until someone else takes powers.
So he's gonna pull the Brock Lesnar. It's gonna be Monday Night Raw starring the Miz.
Yes. Or X-Smarks starring Richter Hammer.
There you go. Here's a question. If somebody who had nothing better to do, like say for example Santino, if by some sort of god, if Santino won the briefcase, could he cash it on Mizdow for the title of stunt double to give himself something to do and make himself semi-relevant?
Yeah, or could a wrestler like, say, I don't know, Dolph Ziggler, he's been going through a load of stuff, he's been buried, could he become really depressed and then say, no, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my own life. I'm going to kill myself right here. I'm cashing in on The Undertaker for the title of Dead Man. Second he wins the match, just collapses and stretches carry him off. Undertaker's just looking like, what the fuck? That's not how that works.
Undertaker like coughs and he looks around and he's like, what is going on? He acts like a normal person. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Undertaker grabs the microphone. The hills are alive with the sound of music.
And in the weeks leading up to that match, you see Dolph Ziggler suspiciously hanging out with Tim White backstage.
Yeah. Well, hell, if they did that properly in the video game, Marcus, you totally need to cash in and get the title Legend Killer.
Yes! Yes, I would totally do that. That'd be awesome.
Hornswoggle cashes in on Ryback and takes the title Big Guy.
Big Guy.
Oh, yeah.
Or on the Big Show, I'm the world's largest athlete.
Yes.
Yes.
Or someone like Zack Ryder cashes in on Farouk when he's at ringside and he says, now I am officially the first ever WCW African American champion.
I want Val Venus to come back and beat McMahon for the title of Genetic Jackhammer.
Nice.
There you go.
But yeah, like I said, that type of thing with the Money in the Bank is what I was on about. That they should evolve Money in the Bank to do that, but less of the joke ones we mentioned. But just to do it, so you like, what the hell's going to happen? Like, let's say a wrestler's injured. Like, I don't know. Let's say Kofi gets injured. Hopefully he doesn't. But let's say Kofi gets injured. Like when Austin was injured, and they kept showing him on TV every week. What if he got injured, but he managed to go in the Money in the Bank, take the money in the bank, get his surgery or whatever, come back, and while he's still injured, what if he cashes in on someone like Michael Cole and becomes a new commentator?
That'd be cool.
So he's there every week. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, I think that at least for Money in the Bank, I didn't like when they split them. Kind of tying in with what you were saying. Like, I liked it when it was just one, so it was either title. So, I definitely agree that I don't like it when it's like, oh, it's only for this. Like, I like it when it was slightly broader. I think even your idea is even better, though, of making it where you could take like just about any title. Because I could just see the potential for that could, like, there's just tons of ideas. They could really milk that, and it would still be unique. Like, it would be silly sometimes, but at least it would be something that they hadn't seen. People hadn't seen and that they hadn't shown before.
Yeah, like you could the amount of storylines that if you add up all the titles in terms of actual titles, not like Deadman and stuff, but if you add up all the actual titles and all the actual wrestlers and stuff like that, you could do absolutely anything. Like, I don't know, Fandango wants to get back together with Summer Rae. He wins Money in the Bank. He gives her the briefcase so she can get the Divas Championship.
There you go.
That'd be awesome.
Suddenly it's like, wait, what just happened? When they had two Money in the Bank briefcases, I was pissed when I found out you could only cash in on once.
Yeah.
Because I loved the idea of, say, someone like Edge being the ultimate opportunist and cashing in Money in the Bank. 1, 2, 3. The other Money in the Bank winner runs out to cash in on Edge. Just because, or something along those lines. Because be like,
yeah,
that's funny.
Here's a question. Can you attack Edge and cash in on him for the title of Ultimate Opportunist?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Could you? You could take a show. The Cutting Edge, starring Mark Henry.
Mark Henry wins and cashes in on Edge, and he goes, there you go. Now I'm the father of Beth Phoenix's baby. Where's Ray backstage? I think I've been through a similar experience with custody. I don't know, what do you think? It just looks up, almost like he's remembering, but almost like he's giving tribute.
Those were the good old days, eh? Looks up.
Yeah, it's like you could actually really be dickish with that as well. And I mean proper dickish. Like, let's say The Rock, I assume, because I can't remember if he's actually been entered or not yet. He probably has been. Let's assume he wasn't, or let's assume Jericho, then, just to make it easier. Jericho is officially announced as this year's Hall of Fame inductee. How hilarious would that be if someone smacks him in the back of the head, pins him, becomes a Hall of Fame inductee, leading to a WrestleMania match so he can get it back?
That's hilarious. There's just one slight problem with that.
What's that?
You can't have a WrestleMania match to be an inductee when the induction ceremony is the night before WrestleMania.
Yeah, but they can always do something with it. But I just mean something along those lines. It could be Fastlane or something. Because how pissed would fans be if they're like, oh my God, Jericho's going to be in the Hall of Fame? What? No, Big E's cashing in.
That would be like
Titus O'Neil. Titus O'Neil's cashing in. Titus O'Neil's going to go in the Hall of Fame. Wait, what? As the main face of the Hall of Fame group too. The whatever you call that. The main class, valedictorian or whatever they call it. How Jim would be like, no, that can't happen. No, I would be like, no, that can't happen. But it would just be like, that would be a great way of getting him some cheap heat. Like,
that would be a
massive heat.
That'd be awesome.
And I picked someone like Jericho because it's someone could wrestle and would actually be able to get it back, so it doesn't shit on the Hall of Fame. But at the same time, that's a huge heel thing of, you just almost got yourself into the Hall of Fame.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
There's so much they could do with the Money in the Bank and stuff like that. They just don't, and it's like it says it all when we're sitting here and we've come up with more better stuff in like fucking 10 minutes than WWE has in the last like 10 years. What the hell?
To be fair, we also came up with more worse stuff.
Yeah, but but WWE's not even creative enough to come up with that.
Yeah, like Randy Orton finally gets his revenge, and he cashes in Money in the Bank to get the title of Spanish announce table. And just sits there with his hands and knees all fucking night with tape monitors on his back.
That'd be hilarious.
And then suddenly two wrestlers come out, take the monitors off him. Oh my god, he just put him through Orton. Might be one of those things. Those
Orton ladders and chairs.
Yes.
Big Show gets revenge and takes over as stairs.
Yeah. How amazing is it though to just think Randy Orton gets a gimmick where all he does is go on his hands and knees and just not say anything as a table. And what's even more amazing is he wanted this. He cashed in to get it.
No, you know what the even worst thing about that is? He cashed it on Spanish announce table, which means he only gets to be on TV once a month.
Yeah. And then you can just look at the camera once and just say, hey, someone had to represent the Spanish audience, right, Alberto? Wink.
Wow.
To which Ray will just be backstage with, seriously, what am I?
And behind him, Sakar and Callisto are just face palming.
Yeah. But no, Orton is a table. Oh, I feel that should be a card.
Richter, get on that.
Orton has become the table now.
I can see them, like, even not necessarily that you cash in for that. I think that'd be a funny, like, thing that a heel GM would do. Like, oh, you lost your match. You got to be a table for.
You have to be Spanish table. Yeah.
Sorry, Big Show. You got to be the stairs, and he's just like sitting like Indian style, like at the corner, and they like climb on him to get in the ring.
And like when we were mentioning the joke stuff too, or obviously the gimmicks and stuff too. Damien Sandow goes back to his old gimmick of the intellectual savior of the masses. Wins Money in the Bank. He cashes in on Dean Ambrose, and he becomes the lunatic fringe and starts acting all insane. Next week, Dean Ambrose comes out in a sweater vest with like combed hair and stuff because he's now sane.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say they like switched gimmicks, and I'm like, that'd be even funnier.
That would be
like when you vacate your title, then it like goes to the other person.
Yeah.
Comes out in the robe, and he's just like, I say.
James in the game, James cashes in on David Utonga and becomes Phoenix Wright.
Yes.
Yes.
I had to make the reference to people.
That was a good reference.
But no, back to King of the Ring. Ironically, this topic should probably be renamed King of the Ring Tournament and possible Money in the Bank.
Yeah, really.
Questions? Question mark. But no, King of the Ring was a great concept. Like that, they need to bring it back in some capacity, or at least do something similar. Like, okay, maybe if they even remove the King, the King part, they could totally do this for tag teams yearly to help re-establish the tag team division. I don't know what you'd call it, bromance at the ring or something. Bro Up Edition. King of the Ring Bro Up Edition.
There you go. Bro Up spelt.
No, I'm the King of the Ring. No, I'm the King of the Ring. Oh, I have a horrible feeling if that was the case, the first one, Miz and Sandow would win it. So Miz would be the king, and Damien Sandow would be the prince, or something stupid. Or the king, we're told he has to be the king's stunt double, so he comes out dressed as the Burger King. That dude was creepy.
He's the official meal taster.
Yeah, that dude was creepy.
The Hamburglar.
Oh my god, could you cash in on an ad? You know, with the Money in the Bank cash in when we were just talking about that a second ago? I just thought something. We said Orton would be able to cash in on like a table and become a table.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be wrong to go into the Divas locker room and cash in on Nikki Bella's bra so you come out all night with your hands on her tits? I've won this title. That would be so wrong.
That would be a good storyline, though, where a guy tries that.
That would just be amazing. And then Kane's like, no, I'm all for feminism. I'm going to burn your bra. Inferno match. But no. What would you Marcus be interested in a tag team King of the Ring?
I think that could work. I think King of the Ring would be great for any of them. I mean, hell, if we had a cruiserweight division, I could see a, King of the Cruiserweights. I think that'd be an awesome tournament.
That would be.
Just there's a lot they could do with King of the Ring because it's a tournament-based concept in pay-per-view. It's like you could do anything with that. And I agree, they need to bring it back, or at least in some sort of capacity.
It's almost a shame because I understand because of his gimmick and stuff, but it's almost a shame that Triple H wouldn't use his own stuff to help someone. Because how amazing would it be if someone won King of the Ring and got the Triple H WrestleMania 30 throne with the women on it for their weekly entrance and stuff, with the same type of crown and armor and stuff. That's their king out entrance. That'd be amazing.
That'd be cool.
But
yeah, so much they could do. So much they
there is. I was gonna say, did you want to wrap this up, Rick?
Yeah. Okay. As long as nobody had any parting thoughts for everyone. There you go. There's.
Any more suggestions to cash in? That'd be amazing.
Oh man, there's so many.
Why was the King of the Ring Billy Gunn?
Hey.
Because
The Rock needed someone to make fun of.
It's also because they were trying to push Billy Gunn into singles competition away from DX. Because not everyone's X-Pac and just keeps the same gimmick for years.
Mm-hmm.
True. Also, it's like, yeah.
I'm sure they quickly figured out that was a bad idea.
To be fair, Billy Gunn, as the one Billy Gunn and stuff, he wasn't terrible on his single competition, if that makes sense. He wasn't terrible. He wasn't Ryback bad.
Fair enough.
He did have one of the the time when he left, he was like the person with the second longest tenure in the company, like wrestler.
Nice.
But anyway, so there you have it. Some interesting thoughts on King of the Ring and others on Money in the Bank, which is actually fairly similar in execution, I would say, or purpose, I should say.
Yep.
So,
except for making it on a table.
Yeah, well.
That's mine, WWE. Don't you take my idea. I'll sue.
Yeah. They need story designer back and really revamped.
Really revamped, yeah. Like, just be honest, Rick. If you had Money in the Bank at the old Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, you would have cashed in and became a Ninja Turtle.
That would have been sweet.
Nice.
Cash in on Robocop.
Yeah.
And admit it all, you would have cashed in on Chucky.
Yeah. I would have waited just because it would have made no sense. I would have cashed in the time when I'm going to use air quotes, or they have actually had him officially too. I would have cashed in when they had Obama there. President Mole.
There you go.
How amazingly... What? Imagine reading the papers if President Obama gives up presidency to a wrestler that cashed in his briefcase. Wait, what? How does this
Now,
make sense?
Mole, this isn't Saints Row.
It would be awesome.
Ninja Turtle would be cool. I'd also be tempted for Bob Barker. No, I'm the host. That little microphone with the really thin thing. Anyway. Telling people to spay and neuter their pets.
Cashing on Hugh Jackman. Oh, I'm the Wolverine.
Yeah. I would make the saddest Wolverine ever.
Sorry, you can't get you with the Wolverine turtle this week. You're just a shitty robot boxer.
Yeah.
Now you have to sing in Les Miserables, or what the fuck it's called.
There you go.
I don't know. I'm not French. I just call it Les Miserables.
Fair enough.
I have murdered that language. Abraham Lincoln wasn't the only thing that died in the theatre. Sorry, too soon. How is that too soon?
Dan, if you could cash in on anything, I would have cashed in on Drew Carey. Now I'm the host of Price is Right, and for you the price is wrong, bitch.
I would have dug up Hitler's body, cashed in on him, and now I'm the villain of Wolfenstein.
Okay then.
And I rename it Molfenstein.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
That would be the stupidest thing ever. What? Various
God.
stuff you cash in on.
Oh god, I'm thinking story designer with this. Tachi cashes in on Animal and replaces him on the Muppets.
Nice.
There you go.
I'm also thinking of someone winning and handing the title to Mean Gene, and he cashes in on Lillian Garcia to become the official ring announcer once more.
Nice.
How would that work?
I don't know.
Could I cash in on the light that was Shawn Michaels' his tag team partner and become God?
Ah.
Didn't God no show?
No, he was checked for weapons.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah. The light came out to join Shawn Michaels, and when the light was in the ring, the ref actually started to pat down nothing in the space of the light because Vince made him to check for weapons, like God would be concealing a weapon. It was amazingly inappropriate.
See, it would have been even funnier if he found one.
Yeah.
All
That
right.
would literally be out of nowhere.
For the first
Yeah.
time ever.
Cash in, steal a hashtag.
There you go.
Cash in on Mick Foley and become Santa?
Yes.
Ah.
Actually, what I would do, I'm not surprised no one's suggested this yet, cash in on Vince McMahon. Now I own the WWE.
Cash in on Vince McMahon. Yay, now I'm going to be replaced by Triple H in a year.
Hell no, now that I own WWE, you're fired.
So you become the finisher?
Yeah.
Have you met some of the celebrities? To them, he is.
Yeah. Pretty much.
He was the unseen force in Final Destination.
There you go.
Oh man, so there you have it. Like thank everyone for joining us tonight and for this awesome discussion of cashing everything in.
I still like Owen at the table.
Yeah, it is awesome, and it will be a card.
I can't stop imagining it. Like I said, my favorite part was just wrestlers taking off monitors and then doing a move onto his back. And the commentators actually say, "Oh my God, he put him through the Orton, or he put him through the Viper."
Ah.
That's the apex
That would be
predator of announce tables.
They pull him out from under the ring.
Yes.
They have to like prop his arms and his knees. Lead him in the corner.
Yeah. Devon, what? Get the Viper.
Now I kind of wish that they would lean him in the corner, do a move into him, and he'd fall up. He'd like collapse, get up, do the finger wag, and then fall back over.
Yes.
But you didn't go through him.
Yeah. Like, how awesome is that? If the Dudleys, if they ever come back properly onto WWE, a 3D through the Orton.
There you go.
Oh man, that needs to happen.
Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose have a rematch. They pull a white and red painted Orton out of an ambulance.
Yeah. And now SmackDown is officially on Thursdays again. It means in November, Orton can literally be like on his hands and knees with loads of food on him for the inevitable Thanksgiving Day food fight.
There you go.
I hope Orton never listens to our podcast. I just have thoughts of him listening. Oh, I mentioned in this. Let's see what they have. Let's see what these people want. Where want my career to go? You know, these internet fans. Oh, he's gonna go heel. Oh, he's gonna do this. Let's see. Orton has a tail. He's like, what? He put him through the Orton. What? No. He just takes off his headset. He's like, I quit the internet. Punts his laptop.
Or he like listens and he's like, "That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I gotta talk to Vince." Orton became a table out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. So if anyone listening has any other ideas for something funny to cash in or something cool to cash in, feel free to leave a comment.
Or various uses of an Orton table.
There you go.
Mhm.
We need a hashtag Orton table to stay. We need that to trend or arcade table.
Arcade table. All right, so thank you
If
everyone.
Orton was a table, would that make them literally the Legend Killer?
Nice.
The Legend Killer. All right, so again, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. Hopefully, everyone will join us next week for another awesome discussion. Probably not as cool as Orton as a table, but we'll see what we can do.
Oh, I think we still have enough content there to spin this off for a couple of weeks. Just Orton table part 1.
There you go. and there will be additional over-the-top extra awards for next week to compensate for the lack of awards this week.
That is true.
Yep, a bonus free.
Or more.
Bonus.
Bonus. All right, so thank you everyone, and see you next week, and good night.